Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and today we have a bottle that we sampled at the Whisky Live event, but it was like way towards the end of that, so can't say that our palates were clean.
No.
Can't say that our memories were clear. So this is
agree to both of those statements.
Yeah. This is the Glendalough 7-year, finished in Mizunara, and it is an Irish single malt. All right. So we think Irish whiskeys and the honeys, the malts, the triple distilled, then
the wood.
We're gonna throw it into a Mizunara oak. So Mizunara is a Japanese oak, and it is not straight. It grows like all over, really hard to the cooperage part of that. Like there's like a few experts that can pull that off, and then there's a bunch of weird rules about.
It's got to fall on its own.
It either needs to fall of its own or be over 200 years old. And I don't even know. I will say for the if you like really nice packaging, the fact that they kind of, it's an Irish whiskey, but they did the nod to
Are you keeping this?
No. They did the nod to the Japanese presentation styles. So, a box, the paper, the string, everything kind of has a nod to the Japanese presentation styles. So, this is a brand new bottle that I just found. So, can we get a thumbs up for the bottle open? Because we got a bottle open.
All
right. So, yeah, we tasted this at the Whisky Live event, but that was, I don't know, probably 30 plus samples in.
Wait, Whisky Live, that was the one
at the Opry.
Okay, I'm getting confused with the one you went to with Adam at the convention center.
No, that was a different one. I can't remember what that was called. No, that was the Nashville Whiskey Festival.
Okay.
This was the Whisky Live at the Opry. So what was that, July?
It was a long day.
It was a long day. So
the next day was even longer.
Yeah. Fun part with the Mizunara. Mizunara. I keep saying that wrong. Sorry. It's super porous.
Mm-hmm.
So it really throws a lot of wood notes. It's not they don't over-char it. They don't do a 3 or a 4 char like the way they do in America for bourbons. But it is very porous, so it adds a lot of wood notes to your whiskey, but more of a raw wood note, if that makes sense. So sandalwoods, things like that, the lighter wood notes. It's also very porous, so it holds on to whiskey. You lose a lot of whiskey. It leaks a lot. There's a couple of not great parts about this wood, but Mizunara oak itself is highly sought after, and barrels are a barrel is $5,000.
So with the limitations on harvesting, is it a full-blown barrel or is it more of the cigar?
I believe they do full-size barrels.
Okay. I would think with as hard.
I don't think they do smaller barrels. They might have to with how twisted the wood is, but I want to say it's regular barrels, regular sized barrels. Nothing. You can't go bigger. Would be my guess. Those trees are.
But if they did, that would make sense though. It's a
go slightly smaller.
Yep.
But could you imagine the wood impact of a smaller barrel of Mizunara? Yeah. It's 7-year-old Irish whiskey. The minimum is 3. Most that you're going to find are 3 to 5. Usually is what most Irish whiskey is. It is 92 proof. I like that. Very solid. It's not the cheapest bottle. About $100 for this bottle. But the finishing, the age,
the barrels that they're using.
Yeah, right. Very expensive and leak prone.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious how much is actually left in every.
Yeah, how much got lost? Yeah, not just the angel share, but the floor share.
Can you imagine that over here, sitting in a rick house and
the amount of liquor that be hitting the floor? Who knows? All right, that does not totally smell like an Irish whiskey to me. There's notes of it. There's some of that honey note. A little bit of proof note coming through.
More of a scotch.
I would agree. It's a little bit more of a Scotch, the malty note, not quite the honey, like light sweet note that most Irishes come off with.
Holy apricot, like Balcones note.
I get where you're going with that, absolutely. But there's a lot of like,
it disappears once it hits.
Yeah, no, I get exactly where you're going.
Wow.
I totally get that dried apricot note, but.
That aftertaste is different, though.
Wood notes. There's definitely a wood note.
That's why it dries up.
Yes, that's why it dries up real quick. There's that wood note comes through real strong. There is a kind of a sweet vanilla-ish note, like almost like the vanilla, the char, the barrel, like sugars kind of come through a little bit. Now, when you go back to the nose. I actually pick up a little of that apricot.
Do you?
It actually is starting to show up on the nose. There is a dried fruit note. It's really light. It's not Balcones strong, but that's nice. I like the nose.
I know we should have mentioned that, but that's exactly as soon as it hit my tongue. It was like, wow, apricot.
There's a fruit note, and it kind of leans towards that, like a dried fruit note, like an apricot note. Little honey, a little bit of a light. What's the wood where you make the airplanes?
Balsam?
Yes, that note. I get a little bit of that note.
I like everything but the aftertaste.
The aftertaste goes weirdly dry, and I know exactly why you don't like the aftertaste. And a little popsicle stick.
Oh yes,
that's exactly why you don't like it. It's a little bit of that tongue depressor, dried
no
popsicle stick kind of note. There's a lot of wood notes that show up. I mean, that Mizunara really had an impact. What I don't know is how long it was in the regular barrels that they use versus the Mizunara ones. That's what I don't know. I don't know how long it was in each one because it says finished.
I'm not a betting man, so to speak, but I'm gonna guess it's probably 6 months.
That's the norm. Yeah, I would say 3 to 6 is kind of
knowing that you're gonna lose some.
Yeah,
you don't want to keep it in there long.
I agree. Yeah.
So I would say probably
3 to 6.
3 to 6.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're experimenting with some that's still sitting there till 12.
Right. Yeah, you're probably correct.
But yeah, that popsicle stick.
Mm-hmm. When you said there was a note that you didn't like, I'm like, I kind of... Oh, that's what it... Ooh, I got a little chocolatey on that last pull. A lot of wood notes, though. I mean, that Mizunara really, really took an impact here. All right, let's see what... Some water.
I'm going to say the proof is going to come up just a bit.
I think it'll off-gas a good... Yeah, I would agree. I think a little bit more pronounced bite from the proof.
The proof is it's there. I think it's just waiting for something to open.
Pop it open.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that nose.
Yeah. The nose has more body.
Yes, there's more to it. There's more, and there's layers to it. Like there's a couple different notes. There's like 3 or 4 different notes. There's a honey. There's a little fruity note. There's a little
citrus. I get citrus.
Yeah, okay. I can get. There's like I was going to go zesty, but I'll call it citrus zest. No, I like the nose better. It opens up.
It's almost like a tangerine to a lemon.
I don't necessarily like the palate better. That got really woody. Like all the way through, there's a lot of different wood notes. There's some sweeter wood notes, but there's a lot of wood notes and a little bitterness on the finish.
I get your chocolate now.
Okay.
It's more of when you're a kid and you make the mistake of taking a bite of the baker's chocolate.
Oh, yeah, like super bitter.
Yeah,
like
I get that.
Yeah,
I think
there's
the
a
apricot flavor
dryness.
was even more in your face. But then the wood impact on the end actually was a little more diluted for me.
It doesn't quite go as
Popsicle stick.
much popsicle stick at the end. But the wood is more apparent all the way through. Neat. There was way more fruit and sweetness, and then it turned to the wood notes.
But you also got, I feel like you got more of the proof. So it went the other way.
Yeah.
I thought the water was going to open it up a little bit more and give you more.
Hit you with the proof.
I felt like it
That's less.
dialed it back.
Yeah, there's no bite from the proof.
Nope.
There's no alcohol bite off of it with the water.
Nope.
That sandalwood note is just so much more apparent to me.
Interesting bottle.
So much more apparent.
Stinks it's $100, but
Yes. Yeah.
but I get it.
I totally get what goes into this bottle. That makes sense.
Yeah, that apricot. Never in a million years I thought you'd get that out of an
Irish whiskey.
No, it's limited to like honey,
Malt, cereal, apple, pear.
the occasional pear, slightly citrus.
Yeah.
Holy apricot, man.
Yeah, it is the most unique Irish whiskey I've ever had. That I totally can chalk that up to. I feel like I kind of like neat better on the nose and on the beginning of the palate. Mm-hmm. Didn't care for the finish all that much. This, I like the nose that opens up a little bit more, but it's not in a good way for me.
Well, the note, like you said, has more body to it.
Yeah, there's more layers to
more-
it, but
more
there's some
layers.
layers that I'm not a fan of.
So do you know, obviously this is a 7-year. What's the oldest?
Yes, they have older ones. They actually started the Mizunara, apparently. Their claim is they were the first Irish distillery to use Mizunara.
Okay.
So that's one of their claims. So yes, there is I don't remember the ages, but there's older ones. I say I remember an 18, but I can't remember exactly.
So that definitely has to spend more time in.
You would think it's got to be like 15, 16 years in like ex-bourbon or ex-sherry or whatever, and then moved over to Mizunara for, what would a year in a Mizunara barrel be like? I don't know. They're also, which I find I found that very weird. They also make a lot of gin. Yeah. That was kind of my reaction too when I went to their website and they're like, whiskey or gin? I'm like, huh? So yeah, they have a couple different bottles of gin.
Oh.
So Irish gin. I don't know.
How old is this distillery?
I don't recall seeing when they were founded or any of that kind of stuff.
Which makes me think it's younger because that's what distilleries over here do.
Yeah.
They produce vodkas and gins
first
to get some money in the door while they have products sitting in the rickhouse.
Yeah, but I want to at least say there's an 18-year. Is it theirs? I don't know the answer to that. It's totally different. It is a unique whiskey. It's very interesting. I would splurge on this bottle. I'm gonna look for it. It's a weird little bottle.
Oh God, this is good.
It's just totally different than any Irish whiskey you've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like anything else. It's not quite Japanese whiskey. It's not quite Scotch. It's not different. Totally. If you're just an Irish whiskey fan, this is not like any other Irish whiskey you're going to have. It's totally different than anything.
I don't think if you're just an Irish that you're not going to like it because the sweetness of it. I think will still keep those traditional Irish whiskey drinkers
still in the right ballpark.
Yes,
but very, very different whiskey. Very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. Weird little bottle. Very enjoyable.
Yeah, and if you got it available in your area,
grab it.
Grab it.
This is batch 1. I have no idea if they're.
I want to read up on them because I want to see how old they are.
That'd be interesting to know. I don't know.
Because I'm curious because what they're doing. If they're doing gins, it makes me think they're younger. There's no problem with that at all.
No idea.
But it's a cool story though. If they're the first ones to pull in the.
That's their claim. They're the first ones to actually use Mizunara oak.
All right. Well, man, I'm glad you introduced me to this bottle. My wife might not be, but I
You've
am.
already had it.
I know.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's the end of the day. We both remember barely coming home.
I remember sleeping on the way home.
Yeah, me too. I'm back in an Uber. All right. Well, man, good pickup.
Yeah, hell yeah. Glad I saw it.
Good for you. Remember that we actually already tried it.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, I remember that being really good. I want to grab that.
But no, I mean, I enjoy most Irishes. Some are more watered down, but this one's got some complexity
There's
to
body
it.
to it.
Yeah, there's some
Big
complexity
body.
to it. I'm anxious to get my own bottle to drink on a little bit and let it sit.
Yeah.
And
See how it opens up?
Then also see what other batches and variations we can get here
Absolutely.
and see how they compare. Thanks for joining this review of the, how do we pronounce this one?
Glendalough.
Glendalough. 7-year single malt Mizunara. Solid bottle.
Glendalough.
It's a little pricey, but definitely worth it.
It is totally a unique experience.
Absolutely worth it. Well, hope you enjoyed the review. As always, if you did, we'd love the support, and we'd encourage you to hit the like button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel. We are over 400, and we want to be at 1,000 by the end of this year. So help us out.
Yep. Yeah, if you got a favorite in this line,
Ooh, yeah. If you know a Glendalough that we should be pursuing,
what's the next one we should pursue?
right? Yeah.
The next one.
Would love to know.
Because at some point we're gonna do them all. But what's the next one we should focus on?
Got some high hopes. We're gonna do them all.
We're gonna do them all. All right. Well, thanks for joining.
See you on the next episode.
Cheers.